soul from the sword, my darling from the power of the dog.
My people, this is a true picture of Sirius, called the Dog Star, the black old sun, star of the east, the dark sun. You can see the cross on it with the circle in the middle. A lot of Masons use this symbol. It shines red, white, and blue. That's where we get the color for our flag. Also, the stars that's on our flag. This is what we celebrate on the 4th of July. It's a hidden secret. This is how the star really looks through one of these new Canon cameras.
Was guarded carefully. The ancients believed there were two suns, a white sun, our solar sun, and a black invisible sun, at least to the serfs and those kept in ignorance. This black sun was noticed by the ancient adepts to move in such a way with our solar sun as to act as a ghost, moving in the exact same course and path as our solar sun. They also noticed at certain periods in a cycle, this star would be hidden behind our sun, and it was in this conjunction they believed either life and generation would miraculously appear, or death and destruction as divine providence. To the ancient prime, this black sun was believed to be a doorway or gateway to heaven. This star rises before our solar sun every year helically, beginning on July 4th. For 70 days prior, this star is hidden behind our sun, and the ancient Egyptians would not bury their dead, believing the gateway to heaven and the gods closed. The helical rising of this black sun brought on what was called the dog days of summer, the hottest time of the year. To the Egyptians, it marked the time of the inundation of the Nile, causing the parched deserts to bloom, bringing forth life. But depending upon the cycle of this black sun, it would also bring on drought, plague, pestilence, and death to the inhabitants of Upper and Lower Egypt. The ancient Egyptians believed this unique conjunction between these two suns acted as a portal and doorway of divinity. Understanding the motion and cycle of this black sun with our solar sun also bestowed a unique ability and advantage over one's enemies that could be used against them strategically in combat. This most sacred and secret star in ancient mythos is called the Universal Father, the Great Architect, the Divine Son, Heaven, and the gateway to the gods. The ancient historian Plutarch called it Prudence, the leader. To the Egyptians, it was named Sopdet and Anu. To the Greeks, SIRIUS. To the Persians, Tyre. To the Semitic Canaanites, Hazel. To the Hebrews it was called Sihor. To the ancient Sumerians, Orn. In Vedic titles, it is called Kionastron and Mragavyada. To the Romans, it was called Sirius. To the ancient Celts, it was Sir. As gods, the black sun was called Isis and Anubis to the ancient Egyptians. Sophis to the Greeks. Halel to the Hebrews. Lucifer to the Latins. In Syro-Arabic, it was called Mazzaroth. In Arabic, it is called Al-Shira. To the Babylonians, Ishtar. The Phoenicians, Astarte. Other titles are the blazing star, Scorcher, the morning star, the bright, the evening star, the mighty one, the holy one, the torch of Loki, the star of Shiva, the arrow, the star of the east, the ruddy one, the dog star. Beats of Egypt revealed this esoteric secret through initiation. Black, dog, sun.
Secret societies, you have levels, and if you're on the lower levels, you don't even know they're upper levels. They don't even tell you. You bump into it by accident, or someone comes along. Now, in Scottish Rite, that's something different, because they know that there's a. But before that, basically, secret societies such as, let's go to ancient Egypt. To the ancient Egyptians, the priest would tell the serfs, the guys that tilled the land, they would say, the sun is God. Okay? And so they accepted that very low-level interpretation, all physical. That's not what the priest believed. What the priest believed, there was a second level. The priest believed that, no, the physical sun is not the supreme being. It's the spirit which flows through the physical sun that is the supreme deity. However, there was another level. And the priests didn't even know it. It's those that were involved and elevated to if I would have told you this 15 years ago, I might have gotten shot. But I'm so glad now that this is easy to talk about. The third level, which was a higher level of understanding, said, no, that's not the sun. The sun is not the supreme deity. No, yes, spiritual energies come through the sun. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is the star Sirius. The star was everything to the ancient Egyptians.
It seems strange then that Sirius should be related to the founding of America. According to Masonic author David Obeson, the Declaration of Independence was signed when the sun was in alignment with Sirius in July of 1776. It is, however, appropriate that Sirius should be related to the most Egyptian-styled icon in America's capital city, the Washington Monument. Obeson writes that in 1848, when the cornerstone of the Washington Monument was laid, the sun would have passed over Sirius. He goes on to say that in the course of the ceremonial, the star Sirius would have been seen on the eastern horizon. It would have been rising over the Capitol building to the east of the monument. The author David Obeson is convinced that the Freemasons who signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th and who laid the cornerstone for the Washington Monument on that same date would have been familiar with the rising of the Egyptian dog star Sirius, as it is an important symbol in Freemasonry.
Interesting thing about all Freemasonry is that symbolism is ultimately very important. They don't put a lodge in the put it in the, so because
The rising sun.
it's the rising sun, you're catching the energies of the light.
As Dr. Hieronymus revealed earlier, the real light shining in the east for the Egyptians was not merely the sun, but the light of the dog star, Sirius, which some believe holds a more sinister implication.
This dog star also has relations to the idea of modern-day ceremonial magic and modern-day masonry.
This was especially true for 20th century occultist and Freemason Aleister Crowley, who openly practiced ceremonial magic and was a member of a secret order of the Silver Star. The Silver Star was a reference to Sirius.
Masons teach that at the center of every Masonic lodge, there's a five-pointed star right underneath the altar upon which the candidate is obligated. But the thing is, what they don't tell you is that five-pointed star represents Sirius, which is regarded as a satanic symbol.
There is perhaps no symbol that evokes occult suspicion like the figure of the pentagram, which from ancient times was associated with the dog star Sirius. Masonic philosopher Albert Pike wrote that Sirius still glitters in our lodges as the blazing star. The blazing star is an ancient Gnostic term for Sirius, and is shown here is symbolized in Freemasonry by the five-pointed star or pentagram. Meanwhile, the Romans recognized Sirius as Janitor Letheus, or the Keeper of Hell. These dark associations may be the reason for the sometimes grim view of Sirius and the five-pointed star that represents it.
See, my people, I told you, all of history is a lie. America is the new Egypt. And just like Egypt enslaved the Hebrew people also enslaving this Egypt. And if I got it right, 2018 is 400 years. And that's why all this knowledge is being released. And the plagues will come to America.
And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was Death.